The training deck of the Galactic Coalition warship Zenith's Pride hummed with energy shields and the clash of combat drills. Willow stood at the edge of the sparring circle, her Earth-issued combat suit looking almost primitive compared to the gleaming exoskeletons worn by the alien warriors around her. Another human? Commander Thexrel, a towering Crithian with forearms and scales like obsidian armor, sneered down at her. His mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among his kind. They grow more desperate by the cycle. Willow kept her expression neutral, though her fingers flexed at her sides. She'd heard it all before during the shuttle ride, in the barracks, at morning formation. Humans were soft. Humans were weak. Humans had no business among the galaxy's warrior elite. Logan, the only other human in their unit, caught her eye from across the deck and gave her a subtle nod. He'd made it through selection 3 months ago, and the scars on his knuckles told the story of how he'd earned his place. But even he hadn't silenced all the doubters. Attention! The deck officer, a 6-legged Vorthan named Kesslin, activated the center platform. Today's evaluation is simple. Recruits will face 3 commanders in sequential combat. Victory is achieved by incapacitation or submission. Lethal force is prohibited. Thexrel stepped onto the platform, joined by commanders in a serpentine Silith whose species had never lost a war, and Commander Brokter, a cybernetically enhanced Thorgan built like a living tank. Together, they represented the Coalition's most decorated combat instructors. "We will demonstrate proper technique," Thexrel announced, "by using the human as our example." Laughter rippled through the assembled recruits. Willow heard the cruel edge in it, the certainty that she would fail spectacularly. She walked onto the platform, ready position. Kesslin commanded. Thexrel didn't bother with a stance. None of them did. To them, this wasn't combat, it was a lesson in humility for an upstart species that had barely reached the stars. Begin. Thexrel moved first, all 4 arms reaching to grapple her. It was a standard Crithian opener, designed to use superior strength and limb count to overwhelm an opponent. Willow didn't retreat. She stepped inside his reach. Her right hand snapped up, fingers rigid, and struck the nerve cluster beneath Thexrel's primary arm. It was a point Logan had discovered. During his own training of vulnerability the Crithians never guarded, because no one had ever thought to target it. The commander's entire left side went limp. Before he could compensate, Willow pivoted, using his own momentum to throw him forward. She swept his legs mid-stride. 300 pounds of Crithian warrior hit the deck with a thunderous crash. 1 second. 1 commander down. Zin struck while Thexrel was still falling. The Silith's body became a blur, coiling and lunging with venomous speed. Their species could move faster than most beings could track. But Willow wasn't tracking. She was predicting. She'd spent her childhood hunting in Earth's forests, reading animal behavior, understanding that every creature telegraphed its intentions in subtle ways. Zin's hood flared a microsecond before each strike, an involuntary response. Hardwired into Silith biology, Willow sidestepped the first lunge, caught the second strike mid-extension, and used Zin's own flexibility against them. She twisted, applying pressure to the Silith's spine in a way that forced immediate submission. Zin hissed in shock and pain, tapping the deck frantically. To seconds. 2 commanders down. Brokter charged. The Thorgan's cybernetics gave him strength that could crumple steel, and he closed the distance with mechanical precision. There was no technique here, just overwhelming force. Willow waited until the last possible moment, until she could feel the vibration of his footfalls through the deck. Then she dropped and rolled, coming up behind him as his momentum carried him forward. She didn't try to match his strength. Instead, she jumped onto his back and wrapped her arm around the cooling vent for his primary power core, the one weakness in every Thorgan enhancement suit. She squeezed up. The temperature spike triggered an automatic shutdown. Brokter's systems went into emergency power conservation, and his body locked in place, immobile until his core could cool and reboot. 3 seconds. 3 commanders down. The training deck fell silent. Willow stepped off Brokter's frozen form and stood in the center of the platform, breathing steady, unmarked by combat. Around her, 3 of the Coalition's finest warriors struggled to recover their dignity along with their breath. Kesslin's translator remained silent for a long moment, then crackled to life. "Victory! Human Willow, Logan was grinning openly now. He'd suspected they both had, but seeing it confirmed was something else entirely. Impossible. Vexrel growled, struggling to his feet. You exploited vulnerabilities. That's not honorable combat, that's war, Willow replied quietly. You wanted to know if humans belonged among warriors. You were testing the wrong things. She gestured to the recruits around them. You're all stronger than us, faster, better equipped. But we spent 100,000 years as prey animals on a death world. We learned to study our predators, find their weaknesses, adapt or die. Zen uncoiled slowly, new respect in their multifaceted eyes. You knew our vulnerabilities before you stepped onto this platform. Logan and I studied every species in the Coalition for 6 months before we arrived. Willow confirmed. That's what humans do. We prepare. We observe. We find the edge that survival requires. Brokter's systems rebooted, and he flexed his mechanical limbs experimentally. Your species fights without honor. Our species fights to win, Logan called out. There's a difference. Commander Kesslin clicked his mandibles thoughtfully. Perhaps the Council was wiser than we knew, accepting humanity into the Coalition. We have been at peace so long, we forgot what it means to truly fight for survival. Vexrel looked at Willow with new eyes, no longer dismissive, but calculating. The Dravix incursion at the Kepler front. They've repelled every assault for 2 years. They have vulnerabilities too, Willow said simply. Everything does. You just have to be willing to find them. Round the training deck, the mockery had transformed into something else. Not fear, the Coalition warriors were too proud for that, but recognition. The humans weren't the strongest or the fastest, but they were something the galaxy hadn't seen in a long time. They were survivors who'd learned to thrive. And in a universe that was forgetting how to fight. That might be the most dangerous weapon of all. Kesslin deactivated the platform. Training is concluded for today. Tomorrow, Recruit Willow will demonstrate human combat techniques. Attendance is mandatory. As the deck cleared, Logan joined Willow at the platform's edge. Think they'll ever stop underestimating us? He asked. Willow smiled slightly. I hope they do. But if they don't, we'll just have to keep reminding them. In the cosmos beyond the Zenith's pride, ancient threats were stirring. The galaxy would need warriors who fought with more than just strength. It would need humans. And humanity, as always, was ready.